stays in Kolkata and won 50 kilometers away in Barrackpore. Both from this part of the country. The toss happening in Pune, deciding the side that the defend, which would be again the southern part of the park. Shivashish ball is all smile, and hopefully he can smile well and he can panic at his Dylan Perez, go with a 4-4-2 attacking formation. And of course made 3 changes, Mehtab, Zahid and Tangri back to the bench. And leading the line would be Sal Abdul Samad with Manveer. And Apuya comes back exactly after 22 days. The last time he was on the park was in that iconic derby, the Kolkata derby. And here, Kaizad Ambapatiwala has named an unchanged squad, the one which played against the Indian Air Force, and they got the better by 6 goals to 0. Devendra Thakur Murgaonkar, the only one leading, but up front, Sanan Mohammad would be the live bear, and so would be Rene Fernandez, who certainly found his mojo. And he knows it's a problem of plenty because so many great players and so much on the bench. And Kaizad has worked well with the young players. On the commentary area, I'm Pallab Basmalik, joined alongside the one and only former India international, the great Henry Menezes. Henry, welcome.
Thank you very much. This is going to be more than just a battle for 3 points, Pallab. It's a contest of possession against pressure, creativity against resilience, and that's going to be important to weigh out because Mohan Bagan, as soon as they get onto the field, they will look to impose themselves from the very opening of this whistle, while Jamshedpur will be ready for the fight for every ball and punish the smallest defensive error.
We are underway. The quarter-final 3 of the 135th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. And Mohan Bagan defending from the left and will be attacking to the right of your screen. Rahul Beke comes back. Krasic, the Serbian, is already fielded into the squad. Avi Mittai has wonderfully shelled himself well the second season with the Mariners. Shreter passing back. It would be important that how and for how long can the Red Miners keep defending. Devendra goes down in a bit of a, could be a bingo.
I think he's very still over there on the floor for a long time, and the referee trying to ask him if he needs any help from outside. Not as much as he twisted on his turn there with the ball. But nevertheless, it's a great fashion that Mohan Bagan started with a lot of possession, trying to get those channels on the wide. It'll be interesting to see how the Miners really get on with this. They have to really check on to the wides, That's something that Mohan Bagan will look.
Pressure here, and the first goal for Mohan Bagan. And who else? Sal Abdul Samad. He is riding a crest of glory. He is in a dream form. A bit of defensive lapse, but Mohan Bagan wouldn't mind, and could be the earliest goal in this edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. Sal Abdul Samad, he is clinical.
Look at that mistake. Absolutely give away. And Mohan Bagan is not going to keep you. They're going to test you. They're going to punish you if you give them the ball away. And look at that. A sublime pass for Sahal, who very cleanly, coolly puts that out in that. Goalkeeper out of position. They're not ready for that ball. But Sahal makes it 1-0 just in 2 minutes as the game goes by.
5th goal for Sal Abdul Samad and 9 goal contributions. It's been raining here in the city of joy. And would it rain goals here? 245 minutes of absolute magic. Sal Abdul Samad in this edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. And overall, this is his 8th Durand Cup goal. He's been in dream form. But here comes some response. Sanan Mohammad That counted cross defended well. Apuya coming back as a big shot in the arm for the Mohan Bagan super giant. Manbir from the wide area cutting. Deals well.
I think great piece of work there from Mohan Bagan, especially Apuya. His confidence in that box where the ball he had to defend was absolutely brilliant. It doesn't seem that he's come out from a long leave, but nevertheless, he's been one of the person whom you will see screening in front of the defenders, especially two centre backs.
Again, welcome back for Rahul Bulveke as well. Current India international. Rodrigo, Sporting Club Delhi leads the leaderboard with Alvin Azare. Should be in action later this evening. Sahal with the fifth count. Durand Cup control set and rolls it on for Obimite. But done well. Sanan Mahmud. Good transition in defense. Butler losing possession. Good touch. Mohan Bagan, lovely link-up play. Thapa rolls it on. Shubhashish. Liston Kulaso. His first act. Trying to beat Prabhat Lakra there. Should be a good match, huh?
A great piece of fluidity here in passing. They've used both the widths. They've started wide to wide, wanting to stretch the defense over there. They've got enough space in the middle, and with the pressure that they show when they lose the ball, they just get back into that area where they press and win the ball and just start again.
Lovely ball played into the box, and they're getting numbers inside the box. The Mariners and Liston. A bit of a clip from behind.
I'm just wondering whether that was a penalty that everybody were looking at. Look at him. He is under control of the ball. There was no ball there touched. But nevertheless, brought him down from behind. But the referee just allowed play to go on.
Albino Combs in this edition of the Durand Cup has played 285 minutes and made 5 saves, but couldn't save that one from Sahal. It had so much of quality, kept his cool, and is in great touch, Henry.
Yeah, brilliantly. When you talk about scoring hat-trick in the previous matches, you have the confidence. You come in late. You know, he's got the ability to come in late, to have the vision. The ball is going to come in behind the defenders, and that's going to be interesting. You're going to get Sahal coming in from behind. Then Trashik also trying to put that ball for Manbir, who really looks at the channels between the centre backs. It's going to be interesting here because they are firing from all ends.
What is most impressive of Mohan Bagan is the interplay and depth passing. They're making all those deep passes. Lovely bit of challenge again. Shubhashish rolls that on. That was a brilliant attempt. That one at the end of it was Manbir. Just couldn't get that right flick on with the header.
Yeah, I think that is one danger area, you know, when you talk about Manbir coming in that first post and Subhash's boys overlapping over there. They get into Liston and Subhash's get into that 2v1 and getting the balls really on that channel to get it in the danger area. But this time Subhash's fouls, gets him down, and a warning from the referee.
Things tend to get little more physical. Again, the ground conditions. Kaizat is one who has done so well with the young players. And his preferred formation always has been a 4-2-3-1. He was with the Bangalore, the reserves, with whom they won the Reliance Foundation Development League 22-23 season and the Bangalore League as well.
Yeah, it's important, you know, when you get your formations, you have to have the players like a Renner up front who can always, you know, get into that aggressive attacking zone with his two midfielders midfielders at the back.
Liston rules that on. Mohan Bagan has got the reinforcement. It's a great signing. The defensive midfielder from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Samir Zelkovic, he's on the bench. So is Chani McLaren. One has got 10 goals. The last season was wonderful. And been an all-time top goal scorer in the Australia's A-League men's. So Mohan Bagan, as I mentioned, has got plenty, got in abundance, the talents I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a long league, you know, when you talk about getting out from this tournament and getting into the season, you're going to have a lot of injuries, a lot of cards coming in, and they have to be ready with the bench strength. That has to be very importantly talented. And he's got a fantastic bench there.
He has scored a goal, this Alberto Rodriguez, the Spaniard. A bit of pressure here. Red Miners. Devendra moving in the middle. So is Rainier. Shed. Looking for option on the left. Again, Nikhil Bala. Too close there, Sanan Mohammed. Hopefully he should have taken off. And here's Rashid, a very young talent.
It's all about that midfield, not to give away the ball that we talk about. Arietta and Rashid Toy both are in the defensive mode over here, giving enough space for Mohan Bagan to really operate there. And then that those loose balls that Mohan Bagan look at, you know, to get back into position, get the possession well. And they've been really, right from the word go, they have shown they're very aggressive when they are in the attack, and that's exactly why they got their first goal. And what a way to get it. Sahal just putting that ball in, and look at that bench strength we're talking about. Maturin.
This one would do it. Wow.
Yeah.
And this man has got problem. They call it, it's a good problem to have, the problem of Trent Henry.
Of course. When you talk about you got so many players, it's not very easy to deal with it, because you need to have the players in top condition over there. Competition between two players for one position. And what more problems do you want to have there? You'll select the best.
And look at the shape of the Mohan Bagan squad. They're maintaining it, and Apuya in a more defensive role. He's attacking and operating from the deep down, the typical number 5, and Anirudh Thapa in a little more, the frontal is going central. So important for that build-up for the Mohan Bagan supergiant. Done so well. They're the second highest goal scorer in the group stage. Scored 15 goals. Just one behind the Sporting Club Delhi. And this is one squad whom you have to keep watching, Edwin.
Yeah, we got to have a little bit of out of shape here for Jamshedpur. They've not been able to really keep the man-to-man marking, giving that space to really operate there, especially on the wide. They've been time and again listing Colasso. And if you look at Subhash Bose, just giving a lot of threats there to the defense of Jamshedpur.
Rainier. Doesn't he look that same old green Rainier? Young, exuberant.
Yeah, he plays box to box, and that's very important for the team. Always guiding the midfielders over there, especially when you talk about Sanan and Aman. He's the man who tries to put those different splitting passes up front. We've seen a lot of goals from them. They've also scored 12 goals in the tournament, and they've shown that they can burst into attack. If you see Mohan Bagan relaxing in the defense, they have got speedy players on the wide that can really give them a run for the money.
Well, Rainier is one of your favorite boys, of course.
got a hat-trick, so it makes him a very important player there.
Bagan, the shape is perfect. So much of discipline. Lovely touch. Rajic. Interception in that pass. Parla. Albino Gomes beaten once. Pressure here. Shernoi. They're trying to move out of their own zone. And Mohan Bagan, just look at the body language. They are not complacent, but they are very confident. Aren't they?
With Apuya and Anirudh Thapa, they have been a fantastic in that midfield. They've really exploited that space over there easily at will. Their passing fluency in their pass is very good. They're very explosive when they get up in the attack, especially Listen Colasso on one side. We have Dragic on the other side. And then the wide defenders coming out for help.
They get the line broken with that forward pass from Rahul Beke. And Manveer
Sirao
at the end of it was trying to control it.
Great ball. That is a penetrating ball. Getting behind the defenders is very important. And Dragic tried his level best to get Manveer on that. It's just nicely deflected by the defender.
Before this evening, Mohan Bagan have got 27 shots on target. That is incredible. And 210 touches in the opposition box. Wow.
Mohan Bagan is one of the best sides that we've seen. They've not conceded a goal yet, and that makes them defensively very strong. But in the attack, they've got so much of power, so much of threat that they can give the defenders. Sal coming from behind, you have Liston coming from the left. From the right, you have Dragic, and then Manveer up front. Always there are 4 or 5 maroon shirts up front, giving options in front of the box.
The first quarter gone. That's Sahal magic. Separates the two sides. Shatter. Aman CK. It's done well with the Red Miners. Sluggish in the build-up. Good little 1-2 played. Through the defender. That's going dangerous, but again, Vishal Kai, body on the line, and Kaizat knows this is a massive chance coming Aman's way.
A really nice piece of movement over there. A little bit relaxing that the defenders didn't catch that run. Nicely getting off that. Look at him. He goes inside a little bit acute, a little close to the goalkeeper, who makes himself really big. But what a chance that was. Only wondered that he had another option on the left and he could have passed.
Pressure on Mariners. Can they defend? Shubhashish gives it away. Again, long range attempted. Rasatoy Mitre. A lot of players for the Jamshedpur under 17 to the system. They are into the under 21 and then on to the seniors. This is a wonderful system, Henry. Grooming players.
Yes, absolutely right. That's something we call about churning, getting in the youngsters going up the ladder to the senior. The loyalty is there, and that's the reason why they give the 100%.
Sanan, good touch. Has some support in Parla. Doesn't find Sanan because he didn't take off. Arabia. Data communication expected. And Apuya just controls the pace of the game. And Mohan Bagan now at times in a walking pace, but they have got, make no mistake, explosive firepower to shoot and attack.
Same, you can talk about about Jamshedpur now. When you talk about Sanan with his speed, Aman on the other side, Devendra has got great experience to be clinical in front of the goal, and Ryan are coming late from behind. They have to be careful over there. If they slacken, relax, or lose concentration, there is a chance of getting punished.
Has his task cut out. Aman, 8 goal contributions. Scored a couple of goals with 6 assists. And has been a good signing. That's a real past. Have to be careful on such surface. You need some bit of a special footwear. Oh, great ball, and Sanan is that challenge, but that was a little too heavy. Failed to keep it alive. But Sanan could at any moment still danger.
Talking about that acceleration up front in the left, he's got the speed, he's got the acumen, he's got the ability to curl the ball to the right person up inside. He did everything right, but just could not keep the ball in play.
Have to be very, very careful. You know, at times when things look a little one-sided, maybe the lapse of concentration creeps in. That one meant for Trazic, but dealt well. Durand Cup.
Yeah, the long aerial balls on the wide has been troubling Jamshedpur. But Lakra really alert that is this man. Once he gets the ball, he can control, he can bring in more support. What a player he has been with his assist to Sahal in the last matches we've seen him.
Trazic to the near post. Manveer couldn't get hold of that. Shabishish does well. Good soft first touch. That's clubbed in. Men for Liston Culasso, they've swiped the flank. Liston comes to the right. Trazic moving to the left. But here comes the Red Miners. Down by a goal, Baba. And all the good work wasted.
Yeah, that's excellent from Apuya and Rahul Beki. They just could get inside. Don't allow them to get into that danger zone. And Titans that coming far is also opening up the channels of the wide. Liston just could not hold on to that ball. He's been trying. In the last match, we've seen him 7-8 shots. Just couldn't hit the target. He needs to find his scoring boots.
Again, we saw a look at the Mohan Bagan bench. Attackers Del Paris. He should be on the same boat, brothers. He was a goalkeeper. Same like you, Manveer. And he's looking for the first silverware on the Indian soil. Did so well the last season with the Punjab FC in the Indian Super League. Very tactically sound and got a good temperament.
Yep, great piece of work once again from the defenders, but listen, he needs to get back his confidence. He needs to get back into the game. He needs to get back into that scoring.
When he's there, Mohan Bagan doesn't have to worry about the defensive screen that they put up in the midfield in the zone, just in front of the back four. That's wonderful. And talking about attackers, Durand Paris has been in charge of the Mariners since 6th of July. And that's gelled well with the boys. He is a player's man.
Yeah, I think the result shows no loss yet. Even a goal not conceded yet. And that's something that you love to start off a new season with a new team. And what more, he's got the confidence to play. The players are moving ahead. They're playing attacking football. And he's enjoying it.
Great ball. Aman, but only finds El Pato Rodriguez. Have to be clinical tackled the passing as well. There's Jamshedpur FC. They have attempted only 20 shots before this evening in the 3 previous group stage games. Sanan. They passed midway in the first half. And that Saharabul Samad magic separates the two sides. Rashid Toy, still very young, learning.
Yeah, I think they've got some very good young players. And we saw what Mama did in the last match. Scored 3 goals. His first hat-trick, the 17-year-old. And that was very interesting to watch. But that's Devendra once again getting the hit. And the game is going to be physical there. Because look at that. Almost the elbow getting onto his back of his head. Dangerous play. Look at that.
Well, both from Goa. Devendra from Panjim and Liston from Davao. And here is Kaiser is having a deep hard look. Shweta doing so very well. He's a wonderful player. Rose from the ranks of the Red Miners. And here's a bit of option there. Very goodness. Absolutely unchallenged, unmarked. Pratik Chaudhary had moved up. Should have kept his goal. And Pranay Haldar as well.
Yeah, that was a great teasing ball over there. Look at that. Nobody marked the runners over there. Just coming from behind, Pratik just had to keep his composure and balance a little bit to keep that ball on target. It would have been worth a try.
Well, this is the first time the Mohan Bagan defensive shape took a beating there. Because all had clustered together. Even Subhashish not in his zone. Pratik Chaudhary. Jamshedpur FC have done well. They are one of the best second-placed sides. They qualified from Group C behind the Sporting Club Delhi. And they lost to Sporting Club Delhi by odd goals to 3. Sanan put them to the lead. And then Sporting Club Delhi were reduced to 10 men. Ashutosh Mehta was red-carded. But Namte scored those brilliant plays, which gave them the 3 full points to Delhi. Delhi has been one. A lot of people are noticing them now.
They've got a scoring machine with them, with Rodriguino and Pena, who really came in and blustered that ground over there in the last quarter final, getting a huge score. But nevertheless, here Jamshedpur really getting back into shape. They've been started to have possession of the ball, getting into the game, breaking those lines, getting into the attacking zone, and even trying to get a shot at goal. And that's going to be heartening for them.
Mohan Bagan, wonderful record in the Durand Cup. And just look at the last 3 seasons. And twice they are the finalists. They won it in 2003. Runner-up in 2024. Oh, that was absolutely a great pass meant for Trajic. Just couldn't keep it down. Not the perfect spot jump. He spotted it well, but couldn't keep it down. Could have been the goal number 2 for Mohan Bagan Supergiant.
Yeah, great space behind the defenders. If you look at Sahal with his composure, beautiful lob there around and above the goalkeeper. But came in a little bit too early there. Rashid could have timed his run, just could not be on that ball.
Mandir. Again, bodies on the line. But the referee is somewhat blown. Lakshay. He was very, very close. And again, Mohan Bagan comes calling in the deep areas.
Yeah, too much of pressure over there on Manveer. There's 1 or 2 defenders not allowing him to take that shot. But he manages it somehow or the other. He exactly knows where the pole is. And what a defensive shot break that was for a corner.
The go-to man, Papa. Delivered well, but defended better. Abhimite gets a skipper in support. He's doing all that distribution. And look at Sarad Mohammed, has fallen back in defense. Great ball again. Manvi, not the right touch. And Mohan Bagan quickly getting back into the shape. Talking about the Mohan Bagan's success in the Indian Oil Durand Cup. 2023 was a wonderful season for them. Oh, lovely slide challenge. And the referee rushes up Lakshya. He showed 3 yellow cards in the Kolkata Derby, the season opener.
And that was Lakra simply going on a sliding tackle, but tries and sweeps him in, doesn't allow him to go up, and that's very much picked up by the referee. What a great player he has been on the wings, time and again, that pressure coming on him. He has been there first with the ball.
Pressure on Albino. Tragic is ready to deliver. And he can deliver inch perfect crosses. Lakshya having a word with the players. And Rahul Vick, a bit of wrestling, a bit of pushing and shoving.
Great warning there from the referee. He wants a clean play there inside the box. And that's good sometimes when the referee comes in and warns players.
Tragic, not the best of set pieces. Defended well. Lakra. Jamshedpur FC 0. Mohan Bagan Supergiant 1 as they head for the mandatory hydration break in the first half. And overall, they are under no pressure, this Marinas.
Yeah, early break for Jamshedpur, especially lack of concentration there, giving away the ball in the middle of the park while they got conceding that goal over there. Otherwise, they've kept their shape pretty well. But Mohan Bagan, a little more experienced side with some individual brilliant performance. They have kept that possession very well. Apuya especially there. We've not seen too much of Anirudh Thapa, but nevertheless, Sahal was the man who just got in for that goal. And look at that. That was an amazing late entry into the box. 2 white shirts could not stop. Neither did the goalkeeper. And what a way to start. 2 minutes into the game. And 1-0 up for Mohan Bagan.
That was again a little bit of lapse of concentration. And could you call it a bit of inexperience? Rasatoy Mitte, very young player, was in that act, was trying to clear that one, but again couldn't stop and prevent Sarabdul Samad with his run. This man is not satisfied. He wants more. And why not? There's so much of armory. There's so much of ammunition. He can really fire. But so can Sanan Mohammed as well. I haven't seen the goalkeepers so aggressive. Are you, Henry?
Yeah, you should be there, especially when you have, like you said, the ammunitions are there, but you're not firing. There's going to be an aggressive talk over there on the lines, and that's exactly what Del Perez is doing. And same with Kaizad. Kaizad knows that his players made a mistake in the defense by giving away the goal. They've regained their shape. They've regained themselves back. And they have to just have a little bit confidence that they can go into beyond that attacking zone, especially when Shivashi's Bose just comes up into the attack. They find that place, and Aman is the man who can really go through the 2 important attacks which have come in for Jamshedpur has come in for the wide.
Thank you. Abhimite. Century a good cross. Should have been much better finish from Radic. McLaren acknowledges, and so does Samir Zalkovic.
Yeah, that was a quick transition over there, and Avi Mitai does not lose that one. Gives the ball for an oncoming Rashid, who comes in a little bit late. Could not just keep his balance there to connect that ball out. That would have been one of the best goals of the tournament.
Radic lost his shape. Both the sides, just one shot on target. And of course, Salah Abdul with that brilliant conversion. Albino, he's been very experienced. He's played across clubs in India. Been with the Kerala Blasters, the Churchill Brothers, Mumbai City FC, long time back, 16-17 season. Apoya. Abibite. Not a very good sign. Apoya goes down. He's just back from a rehab after 22 days. The game continues. Saran Mohammed. And Vishal Kait and all the other Mariners a little worried because this man is down. He's got maybe a little bit of injury to his left eye and the cheekbone.
Yeah, as soon as he gets the ball, he wanted to pass that ball on to Liston. And look at that outstretched leg just coming in. Just could not control himself. Look at that. Just wonder how he can go scot-free after that tackle.
That was Rashid Minte from behind. 18-year-old. You call it a bit of youthful exuberance, should you?
Yeah, I think they're aggressive because they want to prove a point over here. Especially Rashid Toy. He's always been the defensive midfielder. Always wants to cut off the ball, but Apuya with his strength, with the experience that he's got in, he just released the ball much before that tackle. And that's the captain asking why was he left without giving him a card.
Trying to put a bit of pressure on Lakshay. The referee, he's also officiated in the Indian Super League as well. 10 games to his credit. Has been a regular for the Indian Durand Cup as well. Just one goal separates the two sides, which is never ever safe. Mariners know it. Panicatus, Dylan Perez knows it. And that was the reason of his being a little anxious look that he gave during the hydration break. Apoya is all right. Sahab. So easy on the ball. From the wide area, the skipper. Great ball in. Was it a handball? They're feeling for it. The referee very close. Did he handle it? It looks so. Oh, great help us, Sahal. Papa. Listen, rolls it on. Apuya left footer for the off-balance. And not the desired result. I haven't seen him so very animated. Is he amused?
It's 36 minutes into the game. You score your first goal in 2 minutes, and after that happens over there. You know, frustration little creeping in. They want every little chance to be countered, and that was a handball, very clearly seen. Outstretched hand, the ball hitting it. Our cameraman did pretty well for us to notice that, but the referee doesn't see it.
Yes, of course, the great camera work. But certainly the outstretched hand and ball hitting the hand. And it was quite a legitimate appeal from the Mariners. And so was Panos walking up and down like an wounded leopard on the touchline. He is not amused at all.
That was too animated. talk from you, but nevertheless, it's something that the coach always feels, you have to get more goals in your pocket if you want to be safe. This is a knockout. It's not a league where you can come back into the game and you really need goals on top there. Because all of a sudden you have allowed Jamshedpur to really come back into that shape.
Little deflection. Is it going in? Albino did so well in the second attempt, and his second jump gets that ball away. Could have been the goal number 2. Saradul Samad is very hungry.
Yeah, well done there by the captain over here. Ball just loses a little bit of sting in that defender, loops behind, but look at the Albino, just gets on his quick foot there to get back and the outstretched hand. I'm wondering, was there an option on the left where Rashid was really moving dangerously?
Papa again, chance for a header. And Marco Rodriguez have moved in. Papa again. And up to Ricochet. Rajaj, right foot again. Saradul Samad takes a deflection, goes for a black kick. Mohan Bagan, super giant, ever prevalent.
Yeah, they know exactly. The mid-block has been very beautifully managed by Jamshedpur. They've really got in that block, not allowing that space to really take that shot. And Sahal has been really denied the second time.
Played tempo. Ships are pulled out. Referee trying to control. Talking to the skippers. Pratik Chaudhary. Alberto Rodriguez, the Spaniard.
It's going to be very, very difficult when you see Mohan Bagan entering into the attacking zone. They are in numbers. There are 7, 8 maroon and green shirts there.
The fourth one, would it be fruitful? Papa. Curls that in swinger. Header from Alberto Rodriguez, but not to the right direction. He's got a headed goal.
There. Yeah, he was warned there before the referee, if you start pushing the defenders, and that's exactly Chaudhary there, Pratik Chaudhary.
Alberto scored a headed goal in the game against South United. 9th minute, the first half. And Miss Mohan Bagan got past the team from Bengaluru, 8-0. And the game in which Manveer Singh scored a hat-trick. And it has been incredible, this 135th edition of Indian Oil Durand Cup. So far, we have seen 9 hat-tricks, of which 7 by Indian players. Never happened before in this long history of the Indian Oil Durand Cup.
Yes, absolutely. And 4 of them come from these 2 teams. We see Manveer, Sahal, then Rainer and Mawa, who really brought in great scoring abilities.
Yes, again, we have to talk about Midul Dole as well. A boy from Arunachal Pradesh. Halichar Nazari again, getting back his old mojo. Manveer and Vishnu PV.
That's Devendra trying to get away from the defender there. Brought down. Very hard-working striker there. Comes from Goa.
Aman Singh, a bit of twist and turn. Comes central. Support from Chaudhary. Arabia. Sanan Mahmood. Wrong pass. Manveer. 1v3. Option on the right. Sahal arrives. Into the box. Still controls it. Has Liston to his preferred foot. Good clearance, but just off the back post. And he knows it was mighty close.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Sahal. He just brings that ball. Lovely skills from him. Turns himself with the ball, the defender behind him, and then just lays that ball off to Liston, who's been in the great position. You've seen him score goals from there. His curlers have been always appreciated, but this time doesn't hit the target.
He's got 10 goals in the Indian Oil Durand Cup, playing his 24th game here. And the Serbian goes down. Could be, it looks like a bit of adductor spasm because the way the physio is dealing with him. And here are the supporters. They have braved the rain. They've come all the way from all over the places to this iconic cauldron.
Yeah, that was a doctor's call from our studio to know that injury. But nevertheless, those are the injuries that keeps you out. If it is really bad, he will not be able to continue. It'll be interesting to watch what he does over here. But all true to the fans over here. They've enjoyed the game. The free-flowing passes, the possession, the territorial composition from Mohan Bagan has really shown that they are a team to watch over here with attractive football. They've used the entire ground, whether it is the wide channel of going in from the between. They have split the defense over here.
Now there would be questions about the fitness of Durand Cup. It is a lecture. Some people, or the commoners, call it a groin injury. That time keeps players out for action for a long time. Sanan Mohammed. Upana again. Sanan controls. And no more game time for Dragic. Rasatoy. And on the ricochet. Jamshedpur FC. They equalize. Devendra Thakur Murgaonkar, the one from Goa, celebrates in the Sioux style. 2 clean sheets for Vishal Kait, but just couldn't control it. And the stroke of the 11th break, here comes the Red Miners, and absolutely brilliant conversion from Devendra Thakur Murgaonkar.
We're talking about they make a mistake and they will get punished, and that's exactly what David does. Eye of an eagle for him. He just follows that ball so quickly. Looks at the goalkeeper, the ball starts dipping at the end. He wanted to catch the ball but punched it right in front of Devendra, who was in the jiffy. Look at that, Alberto. He also moved a little bit late over there. Devendra first in the ball, and what a goal to his credit. Super stuff here from him.
Absolutely pounce onto that little ricochet from Vishal Kait. Mohan Bagan, super giant, fails to keep the clean sheet of the first goal that they have conceded in the 135th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. And Devendra scoring his second this edition and his 10th Durand Cup goal. Here comes Mohan Bagan. Abhibite pulls it back. Good transition. And on the break, and Rasatoy was the one. He's long ranger. Put Vishal Kait in a bit of a challenging situation. And Vishal Kait couldn't keep the ball away from onrushing Thakur Murgaonkar. Kian Nasiri is here to replace Durand Dragic, and that could be a little ominous.
Yeah, fantastic. When we're talking about that, Jamshedpur gaining that shape in the defense. And that's exactly what happened. A long ranger. But the goalkeeper Vishal Kait was not ready, I suppose. He just had to palm that ball out behind the goal, but trying to stop it. And gave a great chance for Devendra to really convert that.
Liston. Miss pass. The Rainier does well, trying to find Aman CK. Kian Nasiri, his first touch. It's a skip on the line. Shibashesh. 3 minutes of borrowed time in the first half. Anurul Thapa. And could be little casualness script in the Mariners. And that is the reason. Again, listen to us, a little forceful run to the back post to whom? Again, Nasiri does well. Control set. Has support from Shivashish. The rolls on, absolutely a missed pass. With a great word from Sir Alex Ferguson. Always said, respect your opponent.
Yeah, I think that's a lack of concentration, like you said. And that was punished very well by Devendra. And a little bit shoulders drooping over here as we finally enter the second half.
So again, a couple of goals scored. Sahal with the earliest of this season in the second minute. And at the stroke of the 11th break, Devendra Thakur Murgaonkar did punish Mohan Bagan Supergiant. Jamshedpur FC 1, Mohan Bagan 1. A lot of action in the second 45 to follow. And have a look at the match statistics. 10 shots by Mohan Bagan and 1 on target. And 5 by the Red Miners, 3 on target.
Yeah, absolutely. As slowly and steadily they allowed Jamshedpur to get into the game. And that's how they went on.
And if you have missed the action, the first 45, in a nutshell, the usual pre-match ceremonial. Shivashish with Prannoy, and a kick off, and a bit of a defensive lapse to Rashid Toy, and Sarabdul Samad, his magical right foot.
With the strikers like this, getting in from behind, Abdul Sahal, simply dangerous. He doesn't miss goals with those mistakes. He just was very calm there. But slowly and steadily, Manveer also got the crosses from Bose, who was getting barred from behind on the full backs. It launched to that cross, but he misses that chance. This was a great opportunity here for Aman Slaty getting inside. A little bit acute, but goalkeeper does pretty well to make himself big over there.
Yeah, that was a lovely work from Vishal Kaitan against Sahal. This should have been converted. Dehan Dragic. Mohan Bagan Supergiant, little wasteful, but that was lovely overhead pass. And Sarabdul Samad. That was goal bound, absolutely brilliant save. A massive save from Albino Cruz.
Especially with that kind of saves, you bring in a lot of confidence with the defenders, and that's the reason why you saw defenders really putting their body in line for every ball that came in after that. And that was a great miss from Christian Colasso. On any other day, he would have put that ball in.
Again, this was the moment. Rashid Toy with the long ranger. Vishal Kait, bit of a lapse of concentration could be. And he's a little palm away, fell onto Devendra, and who absolutely made no mistake and celebrated in that famous shoe style. A couple of goals, nothing separates two sides. The next 45, again, would be much more intense. Don't go anywhere. We are back with the live action after the break.
Mondays, thrilling Tuesdays, wholesome Wednesdays, energizing Thursdays, action-packed Fridays, spirited Saturdays, heroic Sundays. No 2 days are the same when you join Indian Army. भारत रग रग में स्टेडियम की हवा से नहीं लहराता, वो लहराया है इन खिलाड़ियों की सांसों के जोर से। लवलीना बोरगोहेन जी, जय कुमार जी, शर्मिला धानकर जी और हश्मिता जी, जिन्होंने देश के गले में 39 पदक जो है वो डाल दिए। भारत माता की
Commonwealth Special सोमवार से शुक्रवार रात 9 बजे सोनी लाइव और सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन पर।
इस बार क्राइम पेट्रोल में हम ऐसे केसेस सामने लाना चाह रहे हैं जिन्होंने देश को हिला दिया। हमें घबराना नहीं है, हमें समझना है, क्योंकि ये आज हो रहा है। ऐसे ही कुछ केसेस में मैं रहूंगा आपके साथ समझेंगे क्राइम पेट्रोल के नए सीजन में। क्राइम पेट्रोल, क्राइम का करंट सीजन।
क्राइम पेट्रोल 31 अगस्त से सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन और motivating Mondays, thrilling Tuesdays, wholesome Wednesdays, energizing Thursdays, action-packed Fridays, spirited Saturdays, heroic Sundays. No 2 days are the same when you join the Indian Army.
Now with the rocking star. He's a singing leader, no sexy and foolish. Not a people peace. He's a hunter, he can be a leader. He uses the power, he's only his peace. Everybody is a gangster. Till you see the monster.
स्टेडियम की हवा से नहीं लहराता, वो लहराया है इन खिलाड़ियों की सांसों के जोर से। लवलीना बोरगोहेन जी, जय कुमार जी, शर्मिला धानकर जी एंड अश्मिता जी, जिन्होंने देश के गले में 39 पदक जो है वो डाल दिए। भारत माता की
Commonwealth रात 9 बजे सोनी लिव और सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन पर।
Welcome back to the iconic Vivekananda Yuva Bharati Kurand in Salt Lake in Kolkata. And a very good bench strength for both the squads. You can hear Samir Zalkovic and Shadi McLaren. Ashish Rai is ready. So is Suel Bhatt. He scored a couple of goals. Abhishek Ambekar, Levan Kastana, Satya Kole, very experienced. Ryan C. He scored a goal on his debut. And Mbama, who has scored a hat-trick, number 89 of the Red Miners. And we had a couple of goals. And this was the first one, the earliest in this edition of the Durand Cup. Saradul Samad is pure magic. And that was a bit of defensive lap. And again, here was a wonderful response. Rasitoy Mitoy. And not doing well. Couldn't keep it away, Vishal Kain. He's trying to palm it away. Should have put it in any other direction. And of the follow-up, Devendra Thakur Murugaonkar. Clinical, and he finished equalized. And Red Miners would take a lot of now courage again. Back again for the next 45, which could be absolutely a battle of intrigue. And Pallabas Malik joined in the commentary area by the former Indian international Henry Menezes. Henry, the next 45 is going to be very, very important and crucial.
We were just talking about the power that Mohan Bagan has with them, their style of play, how they go about. They love to have the possession of the ball and dominate that attacking zone with high intensity and high tempo, and they exactly did the same, but just could not get those kind of chances to be converted in goals. But otherwise, I think slowly and steadily Jamshedpur really grouped themselves well, especially in the defense. Pratik and Pranay did pretty well. Hidyata in the above the defense was a screen for defense, started goals. Rashitoy also got into that mood of really defending pretty well. Slowly and steadily, Ryder and Aman and Sanan started moving up front. Otherwise, I think this match was really surprised and are hungry for goals. We thought that Mohan Bagan will move into head because of the they got in the second minute. We thought that they are going to go more aggressive. But this half, we will see Anirudh Thapa into action. We've not seen him much in that first half. We saw Priya really cutting and slugging around there in front of the defenders.
Now one change made here by Panagiottis Dylan Perez. We are told that the Bosnian and Herzegovinian Samir Zalkovic to make his debut for the green and the maroon for the first time. And been a wonderful transfer and has done so very well. This 6 foot tall central midfielder, defensive mediocre, can play the role of a defensive back as well. And coming in with his old coach, Panagiottis. Samir is a very, very good signing.
Yeah, it will be interesting to watch that because Right now, what Mohan Bagan needs, a creator, a person who can create from there. We were expecting Anirudh Thapa to be one of them, Samir another. But yes, Samir Zelkovic coming in that spot will add more passes, more penetrating passes, more diagonals from him, more shots from him. That'll be interesting to watch how he adds into the firepower of the attack.
The crowd expects again some more fireworks. Shouldn't dampen the spirit. That equalizer. Brilliant conversion from Devendra. He did so very well, scoring his second Durand Cup goal. And here is the debut for the Boston. Again, it comes in a place of Apuya. So two of the players who were slightly injured and carrying a bit of niggle. And Apuya gets back to the bench, and already the Serbian Dejan Dragic, one failed, suffered a bit of adductor niggle. And that should be a problem. But Samir is a wonderful prospect.
Yeah, problems of plenty, like you said.
And here the kickoff. The red miners in the white, attacking from the left to the right of your screen, and Mohan Bagan defending the southern part of the park. And nothing separates the two sides at the lemon break. It should be absolutely interesting battle. The confirmation, Selkovic is coming in place of Apuya.
Great piece of work by getting that goal for equalizer from Devendra. But all of a sudden, we see that the midfield has been slowly and steadily intruded by Jamshedpur.
Sana, good cross. Radia. Good block again. Off the ricochet, Aman. Good turn. Aman. Overdoing it. Alberto intervenes. Alberto is injured. Referee allows a play. And finally takes notice. Alberto screaming.
It's important over here to understand that the referees generally stop the game only for head injuries. But this time, didn't even sight that foul there on Alberto. It'll be nice and interesting to see how Jamshedpur now pose the threat of coming up in numbers. Set pieces always give you one more whites inside the box, and that's the most they can do.
Shed stands on the ball. Ushal Kite had the alarm bell ringing. Takes it back of the head. Brundoy trying to win that second ball. But looking very confident this Jamshedpur squad. Shweta not in the right direction present. He knows that he can press and throw bodies forward.
Yeah, nothing to lose for them over here. The one team that loses goes home. And that's going to be interesting here if you understand that. Nothing to lose, play your game, try to win if you can. That will be the mantra for both the coaches.
The pressure on Ghana. He did well for a throw-in. Again, you win or perish. This is the knockout stage. The cup competition is getting more fierce.
And that's exactly what we wanted to watch from our cameraman, showing that the ball had crossed that line.
Again, Sahal. Not the right connection. And went for this non-tipped foot to the left, and it was clean.
I think he's one player with a lot of skill over there. He's given that freedom to really go up into the box and do something for himself. And Samir just a no-look pass to him. And look at him. He tries to get in that angle where he can really curl the ball, but his body not over the ball. Just balloons that over.
Well, that look says it all. Leicester losing possession to up, and that's what exactly Mohan Bagan Supergiant has done. Shabby McLaren, Suhail Bhatt, they're all waiting. They can all fire.
Not in a hurry there. And look at the way the defenders really taking their time, not panicking. There is a high press from Mohan Bagan, and they sit deep there, not to give that space behind the defenders. And that's exactly what the idea would have been from Kaizad. They play a little bit deep. They are fast players, really raring to go inside. Give them little space behind.
Listen to Shubhasish. Rahul Beke. Again, exactly on this day, last season, Jamshedpur exited from the Durand Cup, having lost to Diamond Harbour FC with that couple of goals from Saidwat Klima. That was in their own backyard at the J.R. Tata Sports Complex. They are expectant. Kian Nasiri with a fifth corner. A slight drizzle here at the Salt Lake Stadium. Will it rain goals? Chance for a header, clear away. Prabhat Lakra. Nasiri. Salabdul Samad. Well defended. With that equalizer, Henry, Jamshedpur FC looking much more confident.
Yes, absolutely. When you talk about getting that first goal in just the second minute of the game, you really wonder what's coming next. But slowly, steadily, they really blocked all gates over there. And moreover, Mohan Bagan to be blamed for that. They had the chances, half chances, full chances. They just could not create.
Good cross again, but only as far as Manveer. That deflection from Pratik Chaudhary. And Mohan Bagan have to press high up. They've got offensive overload there, especially on the right, because they have Abhibitay to move it.
Yeah, nicely done there. Manveer exactly knows that if he gets a corner, it's advantageous for his team to get the entire team into the box.
Kian Nasiri, header. Alberto Rodriguez couldn't keep it down. As I mentioned, he scored a headed goal.
A fantastic presence of his inside the box, A tall, sturdy player getting up into the air. Look at him. He just goes on and attacks the ball. Just dislodged that from the defender.
Sahal. Waiting for that was Zelkovic. Tapa. He gradually plays in. A lot of players from Punjab FC have come in. Kian. Good touch. Manveer loses possession. We had Abhibitay coming in last season. And Sabir Zelkovic again coming in from Punjab FC. The team that was marshaled by navigators still impressed in the last season.
Yeah, they have been keeping the shape pretty well over here. Jamshedpur, though the balls are getting into that penetrating danger zone, they've been able to cover it. And not much over here. Not much. Like we thought, Shubhasish's balls will go onto the wings like he did in the first half. With Dan giving him that 2v1 against the defenders, but that is not happening now. A little bit deep into their own half, trying to cut that ball off. Nicely done there by Lakra once again.
Zelkovic setting up. Salabdul Samad. Good entry. His run blocked. Referee very close. Says play on. Not interested.
Clash of the pathways over there once he releases the ball. Look at him, the defender really comes in line there. I don't think that was too much for the referee to really blow the whistle.
Now it is becoming a little more physical. A Alberto goes into the referee's book for that challenge again on Lakra.
Very important over here. 2 feet challenge over there. Can never escape the referee's yellow card. It'll be interesting to watch what he gets over here. Does he get a warning? Does he get a card? But that's dangerous play, I would say.
Well, he's already been booked already. Alberto dropping his into the referee's book and hope it is not too serious. Again, exactly on this day, the last season, the run for the Mohan Bagan Supergiant in the Durand Cup ended with that defeat in the Asia's greatest derby. They lost to their arch rivals in the Kolkata derby by odd goals to 3. And Durand because scored those couple of goals, one for penalty. Hapa pulled one back. But the final scoreline was Mohan Bagan Supergiant 1, East Bengal 2. Here, to move into the final 4. But they would take the winner of the great clash coming up later this evening with the defending champions, the Highlanders, Northeast United FC, taking on spirited transfer rider. Turndoy to the referee blows.
I think that was a great ball over there. Teasing diagonal ball. He's wondering whether he was in the offside or did he push anybody. Yep. That's bang on over there. He was in the offside position. Just what a speed. With the ball control from Aman. Simply gets on to 2 or 3 defenders in front of him. Just gets on that area, but Albert did pretty well to keep that ball at bay.
Again, Aman Siki has been wonderful. Was with the East Bengal reserves. Been with the Gokulam Kerala. Rania. Rahul Veke does well. Pratik Chaudhary. Sherta. Switch to the right. Aman. 8 goal contributions already. He scored a couple of goals and 6 assists. Rashid who created that equalizer, which Devendra became finished. The need to find some other way. They felt it was a highway and could go anyway, but now they are up against a bit of roadblock, so could be have to go to the lane B.
Interesting over here now. How Mohan Bagan react to the changes coming up by the coach, Panayotis.
But that run was Liston just failed to keep it within play. Have to do much better now.
Yeah, Nikhil Balra, absolutely brilliant with that ball. But all of a sudden, you've seen a burst of attacking third by Jamshedpur. You need to now, McLaren has come in, you have to service the ball to him. You have a great amount of players who can really create these balls for him between the defenders. He's one man who can really run off the ball behind the defender, especially targeting the channels between Parla and Chaudhary. It'll be interesting to watch here.
At the hour mark, it's all level here at the Salt Lake Stadium. Interesting, including today's, Mohan Bagan have scored 12 goals from the close range and 3 headed goals, and they had 1 own goal. So again, they are working very deep in the opposition box. Shubhashish, Zelkovic, good, lovely touch. Listen, back to Zelkovic, goes direct and only finds Albino Gomes with that connection.
Yeah, with the quality of him on the pitch, he really has that in him. Turns very quickly. Look at that. Takes a shot at the goal. Just could not keep that wide. The goalkeeper nicely down, cups it in his body.
Again, a great pass meant for Sanan. Abhimite did well. Papa. Sahal rolls it on. Zelkovic doesn't find any of the green and maroon shirt there. Oh, wonderful. Sahal. Oh my goodness, the goal was empty. And bit of trickery from Sal Abdul Samad. Mohan Bagan could have put that in. Chancia. Chevy McLaurin is on the park. This is all happening in the Salt Lake Stadium, Henry.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant over here. It's madness, I would say. The goalkeeper comes out of his line, really not knowing what to do. And look at that. That ball was actually pinned for Liston, who just takes a cut inside instead of going from the outside. And look at that. A little bit fake over there from Abdul Samal. And what a way the goalkeeper jumps over him, just keeping his goal free.
Absolutely.
Impossible to believe this. Impossible to believe this.
Moment of madness, absolute madness. And Mohan Bagan could have scored. And in the first place, Albino Gomes. Practically should not come out. Shubhashish with that slight clearance. And the referee blows now. He's appealing to the line official.
It's great to see that. The tackle from Shubhashish Bose was straight onto the ball. Nothing wrong with it. He's wondering why was he pulled off, because that was an advantage there for Jamshedpur.
Well, JK, not to the right area. Jamshedpur. Here they come again. Sanan. Urania a little deep down. He's trying to prevent Zelkovic with that run. Chevy McLaurin arrives in that vital area in the hole, but the pass didn't arrive. But this man knows things are getting a little more tough.
Yeah, what we are looking at in the entire game for teams is a combination. Earlier we thought that Manveer and Liston would combine pretty well like they did in the previous matches, and now we're talking about Zekovic and Javi McLaren to get in touch with each other. But that's not happening over here. A lot of plenty of problems here for the team like Mohan Bagan. They're finding it difficult to really penetrate that defense.
Need to regroup, a bit of combination play needed. Veke. Abhimite. To the wide area. Lovely no-look tackle pass. Abhimite controls it. Again, a bit of a long range of Frunoy. I took a bit of deflection from Sal Abdul Samad. 2014 24 Indian Durand Cup. Mohan Bagan reached the final. It was 2-2 in the normal time, and then they lost the penalty shootout to the defending champions. It was the first trophy for Northeast. They lost the penalty shootout 4-3. Good ball to the right. Aman in the clear. Twisting. 1v3. Shouts they have to put it to bed. Saran Mohammed just failed to keep it down. They got a bit of space there. Bit of half space between the defenders. So again, Red Miners are coming closer and closer.
What a game this has turned out to be. When we thought that it's going to be a one-way traffic right from the word go when Mohan Bagan scored that, but look at that run over there. Really gets that ball back. He wants to find a man, and that Oman Sanan really not troubled by anybody. Just had to keep it composure and hit the target, let the goalkeeper do his job. What an unfortunate strike that was. Just couldn't hit the target.
Again, Kylian Nasere. But that's defended well. Barna. Sanan Mohammed failed to get his 5th Durand Cup goal. The Marinas bench looking little anxious now. And the body language will change as the clock runs down. Alberto Rodriguez, Rahul Veke. They have to show a bit of a quick transition. And again, cut down on the unforced errors. A lot of missed passes.
Yeah, brilliant piece of work over here from Jamshedpur. But equally defended pretty well from Rahul Beke. Lots number of maroon and red shirts inside. And another header there. Straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, but he had this would be considered as a shot on target there with his header. Just couldn't control that ball in. Feeble header straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. But yes, what is happening over here with Mohan Bagan, they are getting into that attacking third, they're getting into the numbers. But nicely and steadily, the resilience of Jamshedpur is showing here. Putting the body forward, cutting off every pass that is given behind the defenders.
Jamshedpur in the recent time had the best finish the last season in the Indian Oil Durand Cup. 2024, they were eliminated from the group stage. So were they in the 2023 Indian Oil Durand Cup. And 2023 Indian Oil Durand Cup was a wonderful tournament for Mohan Bagan.
Yeah, push from behind that. Lakra, the man, who's really worked his socks off in this match, not allowing that area on the wide to be exploited.
Now remember, if no result is produced in the regulation 90 minutes, the game goes to direct penalty shootout, which could be again submitting yourself to a lottery.
That's how knockouts work. But this time, once again, that is cut off by the defender. So brilliantly they play over there. They keep their shape so well at the back, and all of a sudden, when they win the ball, they go into the transition with that vertical passes just getting in. And this man is a man to watch over there. A great run there. Nicely stopped by Bose. He just stops the moment that pass was made.
Montreal Supergiant trying to find a way. Alberto Rodriguez. Sahal. Red ball, right foot. Anurag Thapa has scored a number of goals from outside the box in the past. Abhibitte.
Yes, sir. As soon as he comes into that area, the shooting area, which is very, very known for, the The two defenders have done pretty well. Bartik and Pranay have been standing like a rock there. Rashitoy and Hariyata have been like a screen in front, not giving the chance to Sal or to Kian to really get in that mode of getting in front of the defenders to get a clear-cut shot.
Again, trying to play that overhead pass. We're talking about 2023. It was a wonderful Durand Cup for Mohan Bagan. They were clubbed together in the group stage with East Bengal. Lost the Kolkata derby, the first one with that Nandakumar Shekhar goal, and that was a long time awaited victory for East Bengal, but they came back so brilliantly in the final with that Dibi Petratos goal, and that solitary goal separated the two sides. And the supporters of both the clubs, the biggies of the Kolkata football, they're expecting the encore here. A Mohan Bagan East Bengal final, but long way. Still a lot to go. East Bengal into the final four, and Mohan Bagan still trying to find their way.
Yeah, I think 20 minutes left in this game. And right now, they've been adjusted pretty well over here, Jamshedpur. They really kept their shape perfectly right. They've not given that space in the middle of the park for them to free flow. A little bit of want from the creators, especially Anil Thapa and Samir Zelkovic, can create those space for Jamie McLaren.
Again, a great run from Aman CK. This time defended well by Alberto Rodriguez. You know what? Mohan Bagan really needs some willful runners. The long range shot, listen to Lasso. Nowhere near target. They have to have somebody who can make those progressive passes, those carries into the opposition area.
You're absolutely right at all. When you talk about combinations and you know that you have got overloads up front there, you have to play combined. Those 1-2 touches and then get in, McLaren into that attack. But what is happening here is that a little bit of frustration has creeped in, I suppose. A little bit of relaxing. They've not really put in the entire power that is. They've allowed Jamshedpur FC to really control that ball at the midfield and make those 5-7 passes. Look at them. They're talking about pressing. They're talking about high pressing. You've got 3-4 forwards.
Shit. Good long ball. Transfield. Avibita takes a safe route. One wonders that a team in the group stages which played 150 progressive passes completed is not really finding the way here. And they completed deep passes, 53 number. Passes in the penalty box, 58 they completed. But today somewhat off color with that one wonder strike from Rashitoy Mitte, which again was converted by Devendra Thakur Murgaonkar.
This game is getting into the last stage, I'm sure. The small walks on that line by the coach, Paniotis, will really show that something is going wrong over here. Players have not been able to combine well in that attacking zone, and all full credit goes to the team in white. They really defended well. They've kept their shape pretty well, especially those two defensive midfielders, Hariyata and Rashitoy.
Again, good slide challenge again. Blakra. Salah Abdul Samad. Zelkovic controls it well. Challenge from Aman. And the win it back. Great spirit shown by the Red Miners. And they're gradually bringing the steel out of the character. Rania. Oh, that was intercepted well. Could have been a line-breaking pass. Liston, with the outside of his boot, was trying to find Chevy McLaren. Haven't done much so far, Chevy McLaren. And should be heading for a hydration break, which would be a welcome break for Rainier and company. They are doing excellently here.
When you talk about defensive role over here, the defensive strategy was to get that mid-block, deny central penetration. And that's exactly what Jamshedpur has done. So he'll have to use the whiteboard over here to find out how they can go about, whether they can go out from the wide channels or come inside. Because right now they need support in the middle. When you're talking about McLaren, you have to have Sahal and Liston Kulasa to be close up there. And these were the chances Liston missed from that range. On another day, he would always put that back. Samal once again putting that ball over.
And this was once again something, absolute moment of madness. Albino leaving his charge of his line and Sahal pulled it back. Even he is amused. Shouldn't have left in the first place. The entire goal mouth was empty. But Mohan Bagan had failed to convert that. Again, some massive chances wasted. And that could prove costly and dear.
Very interesting over here, the coach really guiding now, asking Sayan that you have to get into a creative zone where you can give your passes with 1-2, get behind the defenders. There's Liston up front, there's Sahal, Jerry McLaren, such great quality up front. The chest, nobody knows how to penetrate there because there's a big lock with Pratik and Pranay there in the defense. And on the wings, Nikhil, Balra and Lakra have shown great promise.
Again, double change happening. Suhail Amit Bhatt and Shayan Banerjee, the new signing from the rivals camp. And the goal scorer back to the bench. Salatul Samad. So could be the last throw of the dice for navigators Dylan Terrace. And this squad is looking absolutely confident. Aman Sike with his wonderful runs from the wide areas, always been very threatening. And he's got that sudden acceleration, which is wonderful.
Super 1-2 play between him and Rainer. They really show that they have got that ability to really get into the attacking third. Look at that passing there.
Into the last quarter. Could be the happening quarter. Abhi Mithai, good long ball, Transfield. And have just arrived very, very fresh. Shayan Banerjee. But played much away from his body. Intercepted. Tapa. A good pass. Suhail Bhatt. He waits in the middle. He scored a couple of goals. Suhail Bhatt. And that came against South United. Good cross, Shayan Banerjee. Into the right area. What a great pass that. And Chevy McLaren just didn't get that defining touch.
A brilliant piece of work there. Fresh pair of legs. Nicely done. But look at that. Rashid asking for the ball in the middle of the box over there. He was free. But nevertheless, tightly marked over there, McLaren. Not given any space there to really react to that ball. And once again, the defenders outnumber the attackers.
Shonoi, much in anticipation. Sanan Mahmood today, a bit of underwhelming performance, one would call it that way. But Aman Sike was absolutely wonderful, working his way through the right channel, time and again, gave tormenting time to the opposition defenders, especially Shubhashish and Alberto Rodriguez.
Mid-block is something that Jamshedpur looking at. They've been pressing every ball that comes in from there. And it's going to be interesting to watch that few minutes that are left. how they can progress from here.
Now here comes their man Friday. Mama got a scored a wonderful hat-trick in that game against Indian Air Force. Devendra Thakur Murgaonkar gets back to the bench, the goal scorer. And Mama arrives fresh. And he's a wonderful player. He showed a great composure in those conversions against Indian Air Force.
Yeah, just 17 years of age, raring to go. What a chance he's got, an opportunity to play at the highest stage with the top players in the country, rubbing shoulders with each other, and he'll simply make his presence felt over here.
This has been his debut year in the Durand Cup. Just his fourth game. He scored 3 goals already. Had 99 minutes so far. And has crossed the 100th minute. And here comes Kian Naseri from the right channel. Pressing on Bada. Good cross. But dealt well. Patik Chaudhary. A world of experience for Patik. Oh, that was luminous. Those back passes. And Suhail Ahmed Bhatt always trying to find out little way or the other.
The youngster always had that place at the right time to really deflect that ball. They've cut out every ball that is coming behind the defenders. It's different splitting passes. They've not been able to get on to Jamie McLaren up front there.
As far as the possession is concerned, nothing separates the two sides. Again, right foot. McLaren, the shot blocked. Here comes Shayan Banerjee, trying to force his way through, but the referee blows against him.
A little bit of hard work over here for Lakra. It will be important to see that those kind of balls are not given away. A handball first, and then the referee gives an advantage to McLaren to be able to take that kick. No power in there. A little bit of direction. The goalkeeper also spills it for the defender to clear to safety. And what a chance that is. These are the half chances we're talking about that they have to convert.
Again, Mohan Bagan, with every second, the clock ticking away. And they know the pressure is mounting. Shane McLaren just scored a couple of goals in the 3 Durand Cup games he has played. Raul Veke. And the quarterfinal 4 is again going to be intriguing battle. The defending champions, the Highlanders Northeast United FC, would be up against the local challengers, Shillong Najong FC. That would be absolute high-octane battle coming live from Shillong. But here is Mohan Bagan up against a bit of pressure. Shayan Banerjee trying to beat that challenge from Lakra. And the pressure is mounting on the Mariners, the home side.
Yeah, slowly and steadily you're seeing that wide line getting in, but look at Lakra using his technique perfectly to keep himself between the ball and the attacker. Nice work done there.
Little word from the referee. That was a
All respect. That was a bow.
wonderful gesture from Prabhat Lakra again. He's a great player, this Prabhat. He's wonderful. And so very thin margin of error in any knockout game. Thapa loves that on. Bit of contact there, but going down far too easily. Rainier controls it. Option on the right. Aman Sike is having a wonderful game onto Baba from the wide area. He can cut central. He holds on. They know it's so important to keep possession. Mama into the area, twisting, turning. He meant it for Shweta. Loses possession. Kian Nasiri. Abhimite. He would be looking for a space on the right. Suhail Bhatt. Pratik Chaudhary, far more experienced. And Rashid Toy. Back again. Tronoy is leading his squad to what one felt was a battle between the David and the Goliath, but not really. To turn things around upside down, Henry.
Yeah, absolutely right. Look at that. The way they defend is absolutely incredible, I would say. They just come out, no panic whatsoever in that box. If there's an error, they cover it so well. And they have really showed their calmness and composure in that defense.
And Mohan Bagan, as you all know, qualified from Group A as a topper. Shine Banerjee. Tronoy defends 1v2 challenge. And they are fighting out of the skin, defending everything. Mohan Bagan got 3 full points. They beat their arch rivals, East Bengal, in the season opener. Durand Cup back to the bench. And Papa goes down again.
Yeah, very interesting over here. And when you talk about attack, you have to have a movement off the ball from the players around you. And that's exactly not coming in. A very close, tight mark over here. Anil Thapa trying to gain himself his control, but was brought down there by Aman. Great defensive work once again, They're playing as a unit now. Only a mistake can punish them.
Set piece. Can Mohan Bagan capitalize? Under Thapa on that. No set. This time defended well. And Pato Rodriguez, with all his theatrics, was trying to draw the attention of the referee. And he felt that he was pushed inside the area. The crowd getting a bit impatient there.
Just wondering over there what happened. Yeah, it was very interesting to watch from close. He was a little bit pulled over there. I'm sure there are 2 of them. The referee and the assistant and the referee did not notice that.
Again, referee allows play. Zelkovic to the wrong area. Very well defended cut-off, but once again, a missed pass. But from Sheeta. And a lot of missed passes now. Unforced errors happening. The game at the dying stages here. Abhi. Space on the left. Suhail Bhatt. Shubhashish has moved up. Alberto. We are heading towards the end of the regulation time. And that was rather an optimistic drive. And this man knows that maybe things are moving away from him. And could be heading towards the first ever penalty shootout in this 135th edition. 4,105. Very, very intimate and great supporters. The die-hard fans are here in this huge call. Just time.
So many chances, so many. Off chances that they had, they could have converted with a little bit of composure. The combination that we were talking about did not work. And now it's the last leg.
Ian Nasiri went over the byline. Anurabha failed to get his 7th Durand Cup goal with that wonderful strike. But again, Jamshedpur struck by that early reverse. The second minute goal by Sarabdul Samad. And one felt that the Mariners are going to take the game away. And again, a bit of defensive reinforcement. Abhishek. Interested. Durand Bagan back to the bench. They want to defend this. And quite legitimate.
Yep, a little bit of experience there from Abhishek, who comes in.
Pressure again. And the way that they came back with that last moment goal in the first half. That was a wonderful strike from Rasitoy Mittai. A bit of goalkeeping error, one can call it that way. Vishal Kaitu maintained 2 clean sheets in the 2 previous appearances. This time, his clearance fell straight to the feet of on-rushing defender. Made no mistake to convert. And that was the comeback story which began. Mohan Bagan trying to find out way, but they have closed down, not really parked the bus. They are at times attacking as well, Henry.
Yeah, that's the reason we're talking about here. Exposure that Jamshedpur has shown. They're playing without foreigners, without an experienced guide in front of them. And they're rubbing shoulders with the best team in the country. The way they have posed themselves in the second half, really a great wall to climb for Mohan Bagan. Unless there is going to be some mistake over here, they're going to play well. Look at that. That's the defense that you're talking about. Frustrating the offenders.
Alberto Zelkovic. Right foot, near post, not to the target. Even the expression of Kajic tells it. Just about 90 seconds more for Albino to defend, and then this game goes into the penalty shootout.
Great chance over there, especially when you talk about options in front, all blocked. You have a little chance over there. You see the vision of the goal and you want to try that. Well done there, but nowhere near the mark.
Mohan Bagan. Their idea. Left footer. Albino. Great save that. Reflex. Diving to the left, full left. Indeed, incredible.
A great chance once again. More nicely seen by San. He just gets the ball free. Nobody really tackling him. Takes a shot. Well saved by the goalkeeper.
Dent corner kick into the hole. And nobody capitalizes on it. Just the final 20 seconds. And here breaking loose. Aman CK. Little more weight on that pass. Is he onside? The flag staying down. Mama. He controls it. Twisting, turning. Jamshedpur has been a wonderful performance by the men of the steel. And that cross. Little more weight. And the referee blows. Mohan Bagan 1. Jamshedpur FC 1. And there goes the full blast of whistle. going to win this is absolutely could be anybody's game from this point of time. Because we are heading to the first ever penalty shootout in the 135th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. Full-time score here at the Salt Lake Stadium. Jamshedpur FC 1, Mohan Bagan Supergiant 1. And the 135th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup was powered by State Bank of India and Coal India Limited, organized by the Indian Armed Forces, supported by Government of West Bengal. What a game has been, Henry.
Brilliant piece. One point we talked about early when we started this game. We said that this game is more than a little of a battle of 3 points. You know, it is a contest of possession against pressure. We talked about creativity against resilience, and that's how. And then comes the scream over here, and goalkeeper Vishal just could not control that. Look at that ball with that sting, getting and screaming into the goal. Goalkeeper thought that he turned that out, wobbling, but Devendra puts his life on it. Just that. Comes the scream over here, and goalkeeper Vishal just could not control that. Look at that ball with that sting, getting and screaming into the goal. Goalkeeper thought that he turned that out, wobbling, but Devendra puts his life on it. It in, and the goalkeeper for that wonderful equalizer.